What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Firstly, I need to apologize for the way my voice sounds. I was shouting too much at the TV screen watching England versus Mexico in the World Cup. If you guys didn't see that game, oh my god, go and watch the highlights, because what a game. Anyway, if you saw last week's vlog, you'll know that I was playing the 10k Wynn Summer Championship with a $10 million guarantee and managed to bag up for day 2. So I started the day with just over starting stack, which was basically around 20 big blinds. I lose a small one early on with King Queen, but pick up everybody's favourite hand, Pocket Jack, shortly after. Cutoff opens and the hijack calls, and with less than 20 bigs, we have a super easy decision here. So we stick it in, the cutoff folds, and the small blind side calls. So a great start, we double up. A couple of hands later, we pick up pocket 8 on the button. So hijack opens off a pretty big stack. I decide to call and the big blind squeezes to 23k. Hijack folds and the action is back on us. Now, this one I think is just a tricky spot in general. I'd seen the big blind get a bit out of line. He 3-bet king 9 suited from the big blind against under the gun or under the gun +1, which seemed a little out of line to me. And the way he was playing, I figured this player is just kind of like pretty aggro. So I decided to go for the unorthodox back jam and send it in. So it's not something I would advocate for or usually ever even do, to be honest, mainly because you don't really represent a lot of hands. But I think my stack size is pretty good for it, where I'm going to have enough fold equity to fold out some of the bluffs like ace 10 up, ace jack off, which I think he would squeeze. And then I flip against the ace king, ace queen portion of the range. Anyway, we get our tits absolutely snapped off and see the bad news as we're up against pocket queens. 8-ball, corner pocket, thank you dealer, you sexy man. So I'm not particularly proud of this play, but honestly I don't hate it. I quite often go with my gut in spots like this, and my gut reaction was I can just send this and he folds enough. So I thought I had enough fold equity and overall just equity to run it, but happy fucking days. So, up to nearly 200k in the first level, and just a few hands after spiking it, we pick up pocket kings in middle position. So I raise it up to 5,500, the low jack, who is a recreational, calls, and the hijack, who's a young Asian kid, pretty sure a reg, he 3-bets to 22k. Now, I've just won these chips, and could use a breather, to be honest. But I think it's pretty clear that we've only really got one option here. So I think about it for a while, and 4-bet I decide to go with 58k. I like the sizing. I'm obviously like polar here, and I think this looks kind of like a bluffy sizing. Villain thinks for a while before announcing all in for our 193k, so here we go. I cannot tell you how much I was expecting to see the dreaded ace on the river, but oh my god, what a hold. Insane spin up to over 400k after starting the day literally 40 minutes ago with 50k. Played another interesting hand, blind versus blind. The small blind limps and we check our option with queen 4 of spades. Flop comes down 6-6-3 with a couple of diamonds. Small blind checks, and I like having a 4 to bet, but I think queen high's got some showdown, so I think I'd rather bet hands like 10-4 of spades, 10-5 of spades, stuff like that, so I decided to check back. Turn comes the queen of clubs, giving us obviously a bunch of showdown now, and villain leads out for 6k. Easy call here, not much to talk about, and we go to the ace of hearts river. Not the best, but I don't think villain's going to have that many ace-x hands that bet on the turn, but he's sure as hell going to try and rep it. He fires 15k into 21, and I do give it some thought, but just an easy call here realistically. And sure enough, we beat the 7-4 of clubs for a missed everything.
Some start. So, yeah, I was late this morning. I slept like shit. Then the Uber was cancelled or whatever. So I missed my big blind as well. So I've got like 20 bigs to start. And now all of a sudden, I've got like 2x average. So started with 57k. I've now got 427k on the first break, which is insane. So yeah, really nice run good. Spiking that 8 was just, oh, so nice. Hopefully going to be in for a long day, which is going to be a struggle, seeing as how tired I am, but just going to live off coffee, I think. So good start. We're about 150 off the money now, I think, maybe a bit more. I think there's somewhere around 300 left, 150 paid. So I think the bubble will take a while as well when it comes to it. So it's probably going to be a long time before we get into the money. Good table though, good field from the looks of it, and in some good run good to start. So hopefully it can continue.
So an unreal start, but still a long way to go. Sat with around 100 big blinds on a pretty soft table, so things were looking good. Pick up a nice looking ace-9 of diamonds on the button, cut-off opens to 8k and I elect to call. Flop comes down, king 6-5, couple of clubs, not much for me here. Cut-off checks, I decide to check back, a little bit of showdown. Turn comes 8 diamonds, giving us a gutter. Cut-off checks again, and I don't really see much reason to bet here. I don't think I'm folding out anything better, maybe ace-10, ace-jack specifically, but even those hands have showdown and can call down. River comes the ace of clubs, the cut-off now decides to bet, and we just call, obviously. We beat all bluffs, and we do beat a bluff in the way of queen-jack offsuit. And that was pretty much the only part I played in this level, so not much to speak of, but the next level, we play a pretty interesting one. So, the low jack raises to 12k, the high jack calls, and I decide to just call the button with king-queen offsuit. So when I play live, I try to pick up more things at the table, how people are playing, any live reads, just general things like that. So I tend to take it post-flop more often. So if I'm playing online here, I'm probably going to squeeze this all day, just it's not a hand I'm loving taking multi-way. If I had king-queen suited, I'm more inclined to call. But here, I'm fine just playing a part in position, even multi-way. And multi-way we do go, both the small blind and the big blind call as well. So we go 5-way to a flop of king 3, which is pretty nice. Low jack fires out for 16k, it folds to me, and I make the call. Once we go 5-way here, I'm not really doing a lot of raising. Everyone else gets out of the way, so we go heads up to the 3 of clubs turn, meaning we have a full house now. Low jack goes for a bet of 50k here, so basically just repping a king. I think at this point he shouldn't be betting any hands like 8s, 9s, 10s for value or protection, especially with his size. So I flick in the call, thinking that we're going to chop, and the river comes the queen of clubs. So now we are not chopping against the king, we're only losing to pocket 3s. Low jack doesn't waste much time before going all in for 80k. I snap him off and show my cards as quickly as I can, assuming that he's going to have a king. And he shows over 2 face cards, but both of them jacks. So this is just an absolute torch from Billen. We've gone 5-way here. This is very much what I call bet because bet. It's not really a value bet because you don't get a single hand that's worse to call. It's not really a bluff because you don't get a single better hand to fold. Now you might think, oh well, you'll fold a queen here, but I don't have a queen, nor do I ever have a 3 with this line. My entire range is basically just a king here, and maybe pocket 3s as well. So his bet achieves absolutely nothing, but we will take the early Christmas present, winning a pot of nearly 200k. So I ended up getting moved table, and I was in quite an awkward spot for filming. So there was 2 levels, I think, where I didn't record any footage. And to be honest, I didn't really have many interesting hands anyway. But soon enough, we were approaching the bubble.
Right, well, hand for hand, you can see it all going behind me. I've lost a chunk of my stack, got outplayed by this amazing Russian reg, just too good at this game. Decides when we have, I might even have him covered, but we have about the same stack. Blind on blind spot, and he just opens. Board runs out this, I have 10-9 of clubs, I call turn and river. He's got 5-6 offsuit. As you do, when you 3 off the money, just start opening 6 high out of position against a guy that's just been pretty active as well, so I'm not just going to fold everything when he's got either the same stack or less chips in it. And I'm just like, how do you get this board? It just feels so unjust. So I've lost half my stack, now he has the chip lead and he just gets to open every hand. So I'm just going to fold every hand basically, hopefully. Min cash is 21k, playing for 1.8 million. I'm actually really fucking tilted at that hand, to be honest. Couldn't believe it when he shows over 5-6 offsuit. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm just like, I just cannot understand the thought process of anyone here. Like when I've not been shying away. He's not opened a single hand blind and blind. He's limped every other one. Just decides, oh, I'm just going to do this and then fucking turn it straight. It's so unjust, this game sometimes. He says after 2 hour in at the start. Right, I'll update when we get in the money. Hopefully I do. I'll be so tilted if I don't. I've missed a stud 8 as well. I'm pretty sure late reg is just finished now in 1500 stud 8. So if I bubble, I'm going to find a bridge.
So time banks were added as we approached the money, which is to stop stalling. A fantastic decision, by the way. Let me just say here that this tournament was run so well and was really organized. So props to the Wynn, all the staff, all the floor staff, all the dealers. really made a no limit hold'em tournament an enjoyable experience for me. Anyway, we are on the stone bubble. The chip leading dickhead who opened 5-6 offsuit opens the button. I look down at my cards in the small blind, hoping to see 7 deuce offsuit, but it's not. It's aces. Now, I thought long and hard about whether to put this in the vlog, but I want to be honest with you guys. I wouldn't lie to you like this. I wanted to cash. I fought long and hard for this. I didn't want a stone bubble, a $10,000 buy-in, and miss out on over $21,000. So I did it, chat. I folded aces. Right, obviously I'm fucking joking, but I did do something almost as stainy as folding. I 3-bet jammed for just over 30 big blinds. Now, I know this isn't the highest EV play. I would imagine in a solver, we'd probably 3-bet like really big here, something like 10 big blinds, and be giga polar between aces and some ace-x nonsense. But I just got scared, alright guys? I didn't want this 5-6 offsuit raising bellend peeling a 3-bet with some 10-8 suited or some shit and sending me home crying. Anyway, so I go all in for my 30-odd big blinds. The dealer starts counting out my all-in, which they do with every raise before the clock starts for the time bank card reasons. And Button says he doesn't need a count, and he snap mucks. And sure enough, a few hands later, the bubble bursts, and we are in the money, locking up my biggest live cash of the year so far, over $21,000, but playing for a monumental, dare I say generational, top prize of over $1.8 million.
No, that's it. Okay, I'll look. Okay, now.
Okay,
start
right.
over.
Right, start over.
Yeah.
Right, chaps. Last break. There are 96 players left. It's got like 20.
We have to do it again. I'm so sorry.
Right, chaps. It is last break, so there's 2 levels to go. There's 96 left. I've got 26k locked up or 25k locked up, something like that. Still got 400k, so I'll be going back to about 25 big blinds. But literally 90 players away from generational wealth. Yeah, so he came down to rail me and then didn't rail me. She's just playing cash game. So yeah, 2 hours left to go.
Not my intention at all.
Absolutely exhausted. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get a bag and then make day 3. So see what we can do.
So only 90 players away from a 7-figure score. What a life. I get moved table and I played a pretty fun one soon after, blind on blind. So blinds are 6k, 12k. The small blind completes. He is playing a pretty hefty stack. He's got well over $1 million. I decide to check with Jack 10 offsuit. Flop comes Queen 7-5 with a couple of hearts. The small blind leads out for 1 big blind. And I float here. I think we've got a pretty nice candidate. Little bit of showdown, but more importantly, a bunch of backdoors. The turn gives us all of said backdoors. The turn is the 9 of hearts, giving us a flush draw and an open ender. Small blind sizes up now, going for a large bet, 55k, and obviously we're not going to call the flop just to fold the turn. So I do peel with the intention of bluffing every river versus check where we don't improve. But luckily we don't need to worry about that. The river comes the king of spades, giving us the nut straight, and the small blind goes for a big bet again, fires out 110k into a pot of about 170. I flick in the 1 chip and snap call him. I don't think I'm going to raise here. Given my stack, there is argument to jam, but it's on the thinner side. So I just 1 chip, snap him off, and he says you're good. I flip over my hand and he mucks. Unfortunately, after this one, I didn't win a hand for a while. We did manage to get a couple of ladders though, which is always nice. Again, praising the win, I think the payout structure and jumps and stuff in this tournament are much better than at the WSOP or anywhere else in Vegas I've played for that matter. Blinds do cut through us a bit though, and we find a decent hand with 13 big blinds in the small blind. Early position, raise calls our all in when we're holding ace queen, and we are flipping against the pocket sixes.
Queen of spades. Queen of spades. Oh, come on, is this too many outs? Not like that. Right, good luck, guys. Thank you, dealer. Right, GG's in the 10k. I have just bust 86th out of 1,170 runners for 28,000 and change. Yeah, what can I say? I can't moan about losing a flip. It would have been nice to win a flip when you're playing for 1.8 million and you're like 1 level off from day 3. But yeah, the start of this day was insane. So yeah, just no complaints from me. I think I played pretty well. Yeah, maybe looking back on it, I didn't need to jam the aces. I made a couple of tight folds as well on the bubble. But yeah, besides that, I think I played really well. Lose flip, what can you do? So yeah, really good run. In terms of what's next, I think tomorrow, I've not got the payout yet because I need to get my ITIN number, which is like for tax reasons. So what I might do is come here tomorrow and they have a 1600 mixed game main event with, it's got tossed and like deuce to 7 something. It's got loads of shit, man. And then Big O, I think it's like 10, 11 or 12 games. Badoogi's in there. So I might play that because I don't think I want to play Hold'em. I actually did enjoy this tournament. That was the thing. I actually kind of enjoyed it. And I remember thinking on the first day, even though I only bagged basically start and stack, I need to play these kind of tournaments more because regs are actually just not very good. Like, I feel as though I just have an edge all the time. And these kind of games, I just think I should play them when it's a good structure, the dealers are good, the poker room's good, everything's decent. So anyway, things could be worse. You're going to come and say hello?
No.
Life could be worse, 28k, and get to go home with this one. So, editors, you might want to cut that out.
Actually, I look good. Don't cut it out.
So yeah, GG's. Yeah, I'll be back.
GG. So no complaints from me here. Another great run in Vegas. Bit of a shame once again to get so close to a day 3, but overall shaping up to be a great summer. So I took the rest of the night off, got some wings, and had a few drinks at a little rock bar in Caesars, and then decided to take the next couple of days off, meaning that we come to the end of our 3rd week here in Las Vegas. But be sure to subscribe, guys, and tune in next week where I'm going to play the World Series of Poker Stud 8 Championship $10,000 buy-in for the first time.